Hello and welcome. In this lecture, we are going to download and install Visual Studio 2015, the free edition. So we are going to go to this link here, which is the link to the Visual Studio download page. So this is the download page for Visual Studio. Before you install or after you've installed Visual Studio, you will need at some point to sign in. So you will need to have an account on a Microsoft product. So it could be Hotmail or Outlook. As long as you've got an account on a Microsoft product, you should be all right. If you haven't, you need to visit the Microsoft website, either going to Hotmail or Outlook and sign in for a free account, because you will need that to sign into Visual Studio once you have it installed. So this is the Visual Studio homepage. As you can see, there are different versions here listed. The one we are going to go for here is the free version here, which is completely free. This is sufficient for what we want to do. The others are paid, but lets you try it out for 30 days. So we're going to click on the free download to begin the download. So I click on that and the download should begin shortly. So there's the download. The download has started. Basically what this is the installer. So once we've got the installer downloaded, next thing we're going to do is run it. The installer itself is actually quite small, but when you run it, it will then grab more stuff from the Microsoft server in order to complete the installation of Visual Studio on your local machine. So let's run the installer by double clicking on it. So I just double click or single click. I should get something like this. I just go run and it should start pulling up more stuff from Visual Studio server. All right, so when the installation starts, you may get some setup warnings. So you need to heed the advice of the setup. For example, on mine is telling me that the version of Visual Studio works best with Internet Explorer 10, which is currently not installed on my computer. It's saying that if you choose to continue, some features might not work as expected. Okay, it also tells you here some workaround. So what I am going to do, I am going to heed the advice and upgrade my Internet Explorer to 10 or higher, and then come back and continue this installation. So I'm just going to head over to Microsoft and upgrade my web browser. What I'm going to do, just click on the link here for the Internet Explorer 10. I'll click on that and see where it takes me. So it's taking me to the Internet Explorer download page. So I'm just going to go down. It knows my product is Windows 7. I'm just going to look for the version. So I just scroll down and I'm going to go right for Explorer 10. Click on that and it's downloading the application. So once that downloads, I'll just double click and run that. So let me run that first. I've got a prompt here to install. I'll go install. If you are in the same situation as I am and you've got Internet Explorer 10 or lower, then you need to download one of these. Be careful to download the right one. So if you're running a 32-bit operating system, then you need to download the 32-bit. If you're running 64, then you need to download 60. And the way you find out if you've got a 32 or 64-bit is by right-clicking on your My Computer icon. So go to My Computer, go Properties, and it should tell you if you've got, there you go, where it's got System Type, it tell you the operating system you are using. Okay, so that's where it lists 32-bit or 64-bit. Once the installation is completed, you will get a prompt to restart your computer or restart later. I'm going to select restart later and just go back to our installation and see if I can continue. So I'm going to click on retry and see what happens. So nothing seems to be happening for the retry, so I'll go continue. Alright, so we've got an option with the continue button. It's best to accept all the default settings for now. Note that it tells you that setup requires up to 7 GB across all drives. So this is a big installation. So make sure you have enough disk space to cater for this size across all drives. All right. We are going to accept all the default. It also tells you here that you can add or remove additional features at any time after the setup via the programs and features in control panel. It tells you by clicking the install button, I acknowledge that I accept the license terms. So I'll go install. So the installation has begun. I just click yes. You might get this option for user account control. Say yes to that. I'm just going to let the installation run because it's going to take a while I pause this video. Please note that you will need to have a Microsoft account to complete the installation process. So if you don't have a Microsoft account, you can head off to Hotmail or Outlook.live.com and register for a free account. The installation has finally completed. You should get a prompt that says setup completed. You're also given an option to restart your machine. It says that the computer needs to be restarted before starting the product. So we are going to restart the machine, and in the next lecture we are going to restart the product or launch the product. Thank you so much for your time. Take care and bye for now.